playing football, there's going to be a lot of naysayers, a lot of doubters, and a lot of things that, you may not like. A lot of people say some stuff that you may not like, but, it's social media. They got that right to say that. So what I do is I just block it out because people going to say stuff regardless. So I just block it out and then go out there and perform on the football field to basically shut them up. I'm just basically just proving myself right.
Welcome back to another episode of The Burn. Man, this one is exciting for me because my guy, Lavonte David, man, I have wanted to get him on The Burn for so long. We've done like 50 episodes, and man, I wish we could have done this like in the beginning. Yeah. But the problem is like the world, man, before it went virtual like this, we were doing everything in person.
Right.
And the last time we were together last year in Nashville, it was earlier on in the year. We hadn't even started The Burn yet. So, like, you got to do what you got to do. And right now I can't get on the plane and get down to Tampa. And so, like, for me, man, I'm thinking, like, how exciting it is that we're finally able to, get on Zoom like this. So welcome to the show, Lavonte.
Appreciate you. Thank you, man. I'm ready to talk about The Burn, baby.
Well, what's so interesting is Lavonte and I go back 7 years, and he had just come off his, I think it was actually after the first year in the league because it was your second, Will's first.
Yeah.
And so we met down at Will Compton's football camp, and here we are. We're both coaching at the football camper. As Will and Lavonte can attest to, I'm only allowed to blow the whistle and motivate. Yeah. I can't talk anything actually football related, but I'm allowed to motivate. And we got in the car, and man, it was fun just to bond and to talk. You and I just rolled, just the two of us, and I really got to learn so much about you and your mindset and your level of discipline. And Will had already told me so much about you from playing together at Nebraska and the success that you guys had there. But I really learned so much about you in the car, and I'm going to speed forward, I'm going to pull back, and I'm going to give it to you. Mm-hmm. But it really wasn't until 4 years after that. We always got along great. We always stayed connected. Yeah. But it wasn't until the loss of your mother to where, even though we talked a little bit about it, but not a lot. Yeah. But I feel like it's just once you went through that, me having been through that, I was like, man, like Lavonte and I, it's a different bond now. It's just different. Yeah. And so I know that The Burn for me is living to continue to write my mother's story every single day. Mm-hmm. So maybe tell us a little bit about what has fueled you throughout your life, and then maybe how that burn changed for you when your mom did pass 4 years ago.
Yeah. Well, basically fueled me throughout my life with just the ambition to be great. Just wanted to do whatever I do, just wanted to be great. And all the time I had my mom and my dad always there, encouraging me and pushing me to do the best I can be. And whatever it was I put my mind to, they was there behind me and they pushed me. And, they instilled that discipline into me to where, wherever I set myself on my mind on something, I got to be disciplined enough to not go off course and not, try to do something to, mess up my goals. And, that's basically what they instilled in me. And I definitely appreciate them to this day. And, like you said, not until, 4 years ago when I actually lost my mom, me and you really, really, kind of hit it off. And to this day, I still look at the messages that you send me every morning, and they motivate me. And then especially on game days when I always remember that last thing you always say, legacy, carry on your mom's legacy. And I take that to heart every time. And, her last name was David. We have the same last name. And I got to know every time I walk out the door, I carry her last name. So I got to be able to, represent it the right way. Every time I wake up in the morning, I walk out my door. Before I actually leave the house, it's a picture, and like right before I get to the door of her, where I kiss it and, just thank God. And I just remember her before I walk out the door to know that I'm wearing her last name. And I gotta try to honor that the best way I can, because she did so much for me in my life, and it was so much that I want to do for her. So even though she's not here, I'm still doing what I can for her, because she raised me the right way, and it's a lot of stuff that I have to accomplish off the simple fact what she put me in the position to do.
Well, I know that your mom is looking down on you, and our mothers are up there having a nice little party, and on game days they're watching you make all those tackles, and a lot of people, they don't realize what it takes to get that C on your chest.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people take that for granted. And everybody knows on the show, man, we don't get a lot into statistics, but there's just one thing I have to mention because it is very important. I mean, you've played 8 seasons. You're heading into your 9th. You went over 1,000 tackles already in your career.
Yeah.
I mean, you are one of the premier linebackers in all of the NFL, and you've been doing it year after year after year after year after year. I mean, it's like every year.
Right.
And what I'd really love for you to speak to, and you already mentioned it with your mom, I always talk about the importance of environment. So you've created an environment where, like, you're kissing your mom on the way out the door to, like, remember what's important. So how important has environment been, not just for the mental side, like to remember your mom like that, but what are some of the things on the physical side, some of those disciplines that have put you in position to be this successful for this long at a position for a lot of guys, man, it wears down the body.
Yeah. I mean, you know, from the environmental side, you know, it's just having the right people around me, you know, people like, you know, you and people like Will Compton who I talk to, you know, most of the time, and then kind of encourage each other. And then, you know, friends who I grew up with, you know, kind of separating those friends to where, you know, ones who want to push you and motivate you and the ones who, you know, just want, you know, hang out and want to have fun and do certain things. And that's just, you know, having, you know, separating that type of environment, you know, for people who, you know, sometimes might not have the same dreams, may not have the same goals as you. It's not that you don't have to be friends with them, but most of the time, you know, some of the stuff that you're involved in, you may not want to involve them in it because it may hold you back. But, you know, just, you know, the off the field stuff, just, you know, eating right, you know, just doing what you've done, you know, trying to have a healthy life, a healthy spiritual life, and just have a healthy relationship with great people around you so it won't hold you back and, you know, prevent you from wanting to do what you want to do. And, you know, basically just having a certain edge about yourself, just, like I said, being disciplined and, you know, knowing what you want to accomplish at whatever it is that you want to do and just going out there and basically taking it because, you know, it's right there. Basically, it's right there. All you got to do is just go take it. So, you know, that's basically my mindset every time, you know, I step out the door and not try to, you know, veer off and do things that I know, you know, my mom wouldn't be proud of, or the people who's counting on me, the people who's looking up to me won't be proud of. So that's the type of discipline things that I think about every time I walk out the door and the type of environment that I want to keep myself around.
Yeah, it's so important. And, you know, I think, you know, before we hopped on and hit the record button when we were just, you know, catching up and, you know, we talked about just working out, right? It's like, it's different right now. Like you can't go to the facility.
Nah.
So like, what are some of the things that you've done now just to keep yourself motivated, to keep yourself focused? Because I've found that it's the guys like you, they recognize like, man, there's an edge and distance that you create because the guys like you are the ones willing to keep working when other guys are like, man, I'm going to take a break. Like, this is not a time for a break, is it?
It's not a time for a break at all. It's actually the best time to get the most work in as you can because, you know, I'm not getting any younger. You know, I'm going to my 9th year. You got some young guys coming to this league, coming to take over, that come basically following our footsteps and kind of like lead the path that we laid. This is the players before us did. So, you know, you got to be disciplined. It all comes down to discipline. Again, discipline of the workout, keep on your workout regimen, and, you know, trying to understand, you know, what's going on. But, you know, it all could be over. What's going on in the world, it all could be over. Just like it could be over soon. So you got to be able to, soon that's what we got to be able to, you know, carry over what you've been doing and getting back to your regular day life. And that's, you know, for me, and this is, you know, getting ready to play football, being ready to prepare to play a football game. So that's basically my attitude right now. I got to be in great enough shape for myself to be able to know that I can walk out on the field and be able to play full 4 quarters the way I know how to play it.
That's such a great point. Be able to play the full 4 quarters right now.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about that mindset is huge. You mentioned the word discipline.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that blew me away. So that first ride where we really spent all that time together, we talked about social media.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe, like, you practically, like, during the season, you almost completely turn it off. And you talk about the world we live in today to shut down your social media. Like, why do you do that? And what's the importance of that? And kind of what's your philosophy? Because there's so much noise out there these days.
Yeah. I mean, it's so much noise out there, and then social media, they don't make it no better. Just playing football is going to be a lot of naysayers, a lot of doubters, and a lot of things that, you may not like. A lot of people say some stuff that you may not like, but, it's social media. They got that right to say that. So what I do is I just block it out, because people going to say stuff regardless. So I just block it out and then go out there and perform on the football field to basically shut them up. I'm just basically just proving myself right, just going out there dominating and doing the best that I can to help my team win. And that's all I can do, so try to be the best leader I can be, try to be the best football player I can be, and try to dominate this game as long as I'm in it. And at the end of the day, I want to be one of the best players to ever play the game. When I walk away, I want people to talk about me in a positive manner, to know that every time I stepped out on the field, I did what I did. And then also when I'm off the field, I was a great leader, and I held people accountable, and people held me accountable. And I, just did whatever I could to represent the name on my back. When they say people like, Lavonte David, he was one of the greatest to play, but also he was one of the greatest, teammates of all time too as well. So, that's just the stuff that I, think about, things like that. But, social media is on its own demon in itself, and I don't like to be involved in it, during the season and stuff like that, because you can kind of get sidetracked by that. You could, somebody could say something about you. You could be thinking about that, and it can kind of get you off your game, So try not to, be involved in it as much. But at the same time, like I said, people gonna talk. They gonna talk, So it's just all you got to just do your part to shut them up, and that's what I fight for all the time,
Which, and I'll tell you, you've been doing it year after year after year.
Yeah.
You got a lot of teammates with a lot of talent. And so let's talk about a little change that took place on the roster. Right. But I want to give some credit, because obviously I pay attention, every week locking in on what's going on with you and the team every Sunday. But I think, yes, Tom Brady's coming to Tampa, and TB in TB, and it's going to be a special thing. But I don't know if there's been enough credit given to the special pieces you guys already had. No doubt it's going to be great to have Tom Brady there. But maybe tell us a little bit about your excitement about having Tom Brady there, but maybe some of those pieces that have been overlooked, because Tampa's got a good thing going.
Yeah, man. Honestly, since I came to Tampa, man, it's been team after team we had awesome pieces in place to, get us to where we wanted to go. We had the Gerald McCoys, we had the Corn Alexanders, we had the Michael Bennett's, we had the Darrell Reeveses, we had the Sean Golsons, we had the who else? We had Vincent Jacksons, we had the Mike Williams. We had a whole bunch of talent coming in and out of Tampa. T.J. Ward, we had Major Wright. We had a whole bunch of guys that come in and out of Tampa, but it just never got there. We just never got there. But for some reason, I never felt the much confidence that I felt, in the seasons I had in a long time, because, all the bad things that went on the year before last year, 2019 season, we was actually a pretty good team. We ended up going 7-9, but a lot of stuff early in the season that kind of set us back. And then in the middle or, the second half of the season, everything picked up and we was rolling. But, we knew that we could be a type of team that can get over the hump. And now this year, we already, honestly, before, TB came in Tampa, we already had the mindset of like, this is going to be our year, this is going to be it. And then, voila, this guy already pops up and he's on our radar and he's looking to come to Tampa. And, that's even more better, especially a guy like him with his attitude and his mindset and his winning pedigree, and with the hunger of the guys in the locker room, that's definitely going to, put us where we need to be and basically try to exceed our expectations already.
So you just mentioned the excitement of Tom Brady coming. He's arguably certainly the greatest quarterback of all time, maybe the greatest player of all time. You also mentioned some other Hall of Fame talent that you've played with. Mm-hmm. One of the things I love about you is you are humble, so I'm going to say it for you. You are going to be a Hall of Famer. But here's what I got to bring up. we got to just talk about real quick the greatest player that you ever played with. It's got to be Will Compton, right? I mean, hands down, it's got to be.
Compton, my boy. Right? Compton, man. It's basically a dream of ours right now to get the chance to play each other in the league, man. Play with each other in the league. You know, man, Compton played together at Nebraska. Had fun times there, great times. He was my roommate when we was on games, away games. And, man, Compton got a lot of stories, as you know already. You know, that's my boy, man. He definitely goes down as one of the greatest players I played with, for sure.
Well, you knew I had to get that in there because we both love him to death. And, you know, I think that's the beautiful thing about life and relationships. You know, if it wasn't for Will and both of us going and giving back to those kids at his camp, which is so cool that he continues to do that, man, we would have met somewhere along the line. But it's just, I can't tell you, man, I appreciate all the times, whether it's the phone or whether it's in person. It continues to impress me just how you go about doing what you do in your life. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you taking this time to share your burn, your fire, your passion, the disciplines. And, man, you know I'm always in your corner. Yeah, most definitely. And then when you say it's Hall of Famers, I don't know how I forget, but I also got the chance to play with Rondé Barber my rookie year. So that was an awesome experience in itself, getting the chance to, you know, talk to him and learn from him. So he's upcoming on. He's going to be a Hall of Famer very, very soon. And, you know, he's going to be real proud to see that, you know, I played with a guy who's in the Hall of Fame. That's going to be awesome. But, you know, as you know, man, I'm always here. You know, you know how much I respect you, man, how much I respect your dedication, you know, your fire that you give me, you know, just the messages and the voicemails you leave me on game days, you know, that gets me going. That's a part of, you know, my burn. Hey, I never talk about that stuff, so you're giving people the secrets now.
Oh, my bad. I just want you to know how much I appreciate you, man.
Well, I appreciate you too, and I know there's a lot of people, they've got doubts, they got uncertainties right now, but man, football is going to be played, and before you know it, I'm going to be leaving you those messages again. And, man, thanks for taking the time, and I love you, and I can't wait to see you during the season.
Most definitely, Ben. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. 54 going to be on the field soon, hopefully.
Yes, sir.